And we are back. You are chatting with John P. Today we are going to be talking about the leaks, the Rolex and the Tudor leaks, the watches that should be coming out Basel in just a day or two whenever they do release that. And disclosure, these are just leaks, but they look very convincing as you'll see in the pictures. I'm kind of excited for them, also a little bit disappointed, and I'll tell you why, but I want to get your opinion. Like and subscribe, though. Do all of that. You know the drill. And yesterday, check out the Tag Heuer release video. It was very well received by all of you. You really liked the new Tag Heuer dive watch, the isograph that they're coming out with. Check that video out as well. Link in the description. So let's talk about it. Rolex is... Well, first of all, there's been so much conversation and debate about what Rolex is going to do with the Batman. Are they going to discontinue it, the Hulk, all that stuff? And I can touch on a little bit of that based on the list we have here, but most of it is left to the imagination, but you'll find out very soon enough. So first, the Batman. What's going on with the Batman? There's this image here of the Batman being moved to the Jubilee bracelet. There have been many people who have put some of the other watches that don't come on a Jubilee just to kind of see what they would look like, but from the factory, it wouldn't come that way. Now, the Batman is going to be on a Jubilee. There's also talks that it's going to be discontinued on the Oyster, which is interesting because, after all, the GMT Master always has been a watch that came on Jubilee in earlier times. So that's very interesting. Batman looks like it's here to stay, and many of you will not be disappointed as you thought you would be and not be able to get a Batman. So, two-tone Sea Dweller. What? Rolex is coming out with a two-tone Sea Dweller. Sea Dweller is a very popular stainless steel sports model, and it's a weightless watch. But now they're going to try to break into two-tone being weightless watch, and two-tone is not really popular right now, and it hasn't been since, I think, the 90s, for, certain reasons. For them to put this on two-tone is confusing at first, but as you think about it, if they pull this off, as I think that they intend to, you're also going to see two-tone become weightless and then eventually precious metals in these sports watches. Let's see if Rolex can do that. I don't know. What do you think? Leave me in the comments below what you think about the two-tone Sea Dweller. I think it's trash, but then again, I don't really like the Sea Dweller to begin with, even though it is a very good watch. That's just my opinion. Let me know below. The next one, the Yacht-Master 42. As you can see in the image here, there's a bit of a change-up. The image is not that clear, but clearly, Yacht-Master 42mm size. It looks a little bit different. I won't go on and on about it. You can see from the image very clearly the changes. So I'll pause a little bit. You can focus in on it. Let me know what you think about the Yacht-Master. I want to talk about the Tudor coming up soon, because that's just ridiculous, and a lot of people were really hoping that there would be a Tudor Submariner, which I don't see. But anyways, the Rolex White Gold Pepsi, they're coming out with a meteorite dial. Now, it's going to be a very expensive watch, a sports model, white gold. So it's the white gold Pepsi, not the stainless. It's going to be expensive, and the meteorite dials in most watch brands just fetch an ultimate premium. I don't know how many of these they're going to produce. The meteorite dial is typically a dial. I mean, JLC makes a meteorite dial as well, and a couple other manufacturers. The meteorite dial, by the way, it basically looks like a meteorite. It's just something that appeals to some, but not all, and it makes your dial look a little bit unrefined, in my opinion, though I do like the look. Let me know what you think about the meteorite dial. But it is basically just a white gold Pepsi. Nothing more is known currently about that. Now, Tudor. Everyone thought that Tudor was going to come out with a Tudor Submariner. They may well do so. They may come out with a Tudor Submariner and please everybody, call it a Submariner, and have all the Tudor fanboys raging about it. It might still happen, though. Nobody knows yet, but what we do know is that Tudor is coming out with a heritage chronograph, and it looks like a vintage Daytona, or short of the tri-register, because it has the date at the 6 o'clock in the Tudor. They also have it on a bun strap, but really what it looks like is they knocked off the Artisans de Genève, and basically it is a Swiss watch manufacturer, and what they do is they modify modern-day Rolex with parts and proprietary methods to make them look like vintage watches and still retain that form and function of a modern Rolex, and they shave things down, and they, dial swaps and things like that. Very high end, very high quality, and I have held them. But what Tudor did is they just basically saw the popularity from this manufacturer, or modifier rather, and they just kind of did the same thing, or very close to it. And you can see in the straps that they come on, it's the same watch, and it's the same method. There's a bun strap, which is kind of that strap on top of the wider strap, if you're not familiar, and there's also the vintage style strap. I actually really like the look, and I think that these watches are going to be a pretty good value. I think the size is probably going to stay in 41, like the Heritage Black Bay Chrono, but we'll see, right? What do you think about this? I love it. If this is a vintage channel, at least the root of it all. What do you think about this kind of vintage spin-off, even though it is stolen from Artisans de Genève? But Artisans de Genève, in all fairness, did steal this design from Rolex, right? So it's almost like Tudor saying, hey, like, leave my older brother alone, that's my design. And I think that's kind of hilarious. Anyway, last one. This watch, I don't know if I hate it or love it. I think the lugs are ridiculous. By the way, I don't have a model name for it. I think it's just a Tudor military watch. There might be some model names circling around for it. I think that it's an absolute dog. The watch, if you remove these like lug additions, this mix like half bracelet, half strap, I think if you get rid of that and maybe put this on a strap or a full stainless bracelet, this could be a very attractive watch, especially where the crown is placed, the crown placement. But I think it's very confusing, and if you put this in the lineup up against a Tudor Black Bay 58 or a Tudor Pepsi or basically anything else with the Tudor name on it that's a sports watch, I think it's going to be a last choice for anyone, and it's going to kind of fall. I mean, it's worse than. I think that people would probably prefer to buy an Advisor, which is probably their lowest performing sports watch they ever produced, or one of like the Aeronauts or something like that. Not talking too down on them, because it's going to be a Tudor quality watch, but the look, I think, is very out of place. I don't know what they're thinking. What do you guys think? Leave me in the comments below what you think about these. I wanted to shoot out another video. I wanted to be towards the top of your inbox with the latest updates, because I just spend a lot of time doing this. Yesterday we discovered the leak on the Tag Heuer website, and now we've got these, and what else can we do for you? Anyway, guys, check out delraywatch.com as well. We have some very, very awesome pieces available for you. And also, we take requests and services too, so if you need help with that, we are here for you. You guys have been chatting with John P. Let's see how Basel goes. Ciao.